Well, an Aussie success story, a business that's grown from relatively humble beginnings nearly 10 years ago to now becoming a company with over 7,000 employees and $100 million in turnover. Acquire BPO recently bolstering its business by acquiring a company in the Philippines. For more on what this means and where the company's headed, we're joined by Chief Executive of Acquire and Shore Solutions, Scott Stavretis. Scott, great to have your company on the show today with us. Just want to start...
Thank you, good to be here.
I guess give us a view on what you guys actually do at Acquire.
Yeah, so Acquire is a BPO, a business process outsourcer. So we've sort of progressed from a traditional contact centre or call centre outsourcing company to now taking more fundamental parts of the business to an outsourcing scenario. So by that I mean back office functionality being human resource outsourcing, knowledge process outsourcing, marketing outsourcing, finance, and a whole lot of other areas within corporate businesses, taking those services typically to our Manila in the Philippines locations.
Certainly, and now you've recently completed an acquisition of Shore Solutions in the Philippines. What was it about Shore that made it such an attractive target to you?
So two reasons. Shore over the last 2 years has had some very fierce growth and was one of our strongest competitors into the Australian market. And the second was due to their strong back office functions that they had. So they were very well progressed in the BPO part of the business. We were typically more of your voice call centre and contact centre business. So they bring a lot of skill set, a lot of management team and a lot of partnerships with providers such as SAP, etc. to really allow us to capitalise and provide the best service for our clients in those back office functions.
Scott, this is the second acquisition you guys have made in 12 months. Is this the plan sort of to accelerate growth and increase market share?
Yeah, absolutely. We've got a very strong growth plan, both organically and inorganically through other acquisition activity. As you mentioned, this was our second, and we're in talks with other parties straight away, looking at what other opportunities there are, trying to capitalise on the growth of the industry at the moment and the growth of the industry in particular in the Philippines.
You've got a huge operation here and obviously in Manila as well. Where else do you plan to go globally?
So 2015, early in the first part of the year, we'll be opening a new office in San Francisco in the United States to service some of our US clients, both the ones that Acquire had and some of the clients that we picked up in the Shore Solutions acquisition. So we want to make sure there's a strong account management team and strong support team around those clients, and then also to bring into a sales team to continue growing to that US market, which has really adopted the outsourcing solution that we provide.
Yeah, you say it's a growing industry. Why do you think it's growing so fiercely right now?
I think there's a lot of early adopters to outsourcing who try to take advantage of what's around the globe, and now we're at the stage where other corporates are looking at their competition and seeing that it's not about whether they want to outsource or whether they want to offshore. It's a matter of how and what they do to catch up to some of their competitors. And we're also seeing the next stage of that coming along now, where a lot of our clients have already outsourced their call centre and they're looking back in their business to work out what else they can leverage from the global market.
How do you get business? I mean, is it mostly word of mouth? I think I read somewhere, you guys do a lot of word of mouth. Is that the way you sort of attain the best business?
Yeah, absolutely. Our best sales force is actually our customers. So our clients obviously have very strong business networks, and they recommend them to their peers and their industries as well. So we have quite a lot of friendly competitors within our contact centres that have come to each other due to recommendations or due to sharing, I guess, secrets and what's involved in outsourcing, and they want to come on board with us to mitigate their risk and see what their competitors have done or what their friendly competition has done.
How's the business sort of, because you've been in business for about 10 years, nearly 10 years, how's it evolved over that time?
So we started in a very small operation in Manila off the back of one client. It was quite slow growing to start with. We didn't have a sales force. It was really myself and my business partner out there, and a lot of word of mouth. Over the last few years, that business has certainly grown a lot. Where prior to this acquisition, we got to 5,000 staff. And as I said, it's a mix of word of mouth, as well as we've put a strong sales team on the ground here in Australia, and the business is growing well.
Have you had any big challenges along the way that you've had to overcome?
I wouldn't say big challenges as such. I'd say there's certainly been a lot of learnings around the Philippine market and how to do business over there, how to engage with the government correctly, and how to make sure that we stay compliant with all the strict laws and regulation that they do have over there. The government has put a lot in place. So we've made sure that we've done those things early on. From a challenge point of view, no, the business has grown from revenue year on year as well as earnings year on year in quite a steady manner, and it's continuing to rapidly grow, especially with this acquisition that we've bolted on.
So what do you sort of put your success down to? What's contributed to your success?
I think there's been a lot of hard work and a very strong management team. I've worked with the management team for, most of them for 5-6 years now. There's probably one new person in our management team, and they're very much trusted when you're running a business that's in different locations, both in Australia, the Philippines, as well as the US. It's a matter of relying on strong people. We've picked some of the best people and poached some of the best people within the industries to make sure that they're supporting our clients.
So what's your outlook now? Talk us through the next 12 months. What do you want to achieve?
So we're working a lot with our current clients in Australia to work out what else they can do in their business to stay ahead of the competition, especially some of the global players that they're up against. And we're expanding our US presence. So as I said, we're going to establish an office there and work a lot more with our US clients and to try to attract some more US clients. At the same time, continue some acquisition opportunities and trying to find good partnerships there.
All right, Scott, we'll leave it there, but great to hear your story. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thank you very much.
Scott Stavretis there, CEO of Acquire and Shore Solutions. We do need to take a quick break, but coming up next, we'll look at a new initiative designed to bring out our entrepreneurial instincts. That's next.